portfolio, see right over here it says holders, have one of your portfolios be all of the holders. Again, how do you do this? Let me go back here. All you need to do is go to holders, which is, let me go back to that website, HOLDRS, holders.com. You go there and you see the links, and then you can see these are the symbols. In fact, these are the symbols. You can just copy these down from our website or from your workbook. But just a great way to kind of guesstimate and forecast what's going on in the market. That said, click on your thumbnail charts. That's probably my favorite part of our portfolio section. And whammo, there you go. You can see what's generally happening in this circumstance of the broadband holders. You know, you click on the thumbnail chart, boom, up comes the big chart. Let's take a look at this one right over here. In fact, let's go ahead and blow this up. All right, now take a look. Using what we've already discussed, all right, can you see that this stock has a tendency to bounce away from home? Its 30-day moving average in the direction of its 30-day moving average. Oh, take a look. Just recently, right here, you know, we have a couple. Right as that line ends, it bounced away, bounced away. In fact, about, what is it, maybe a week ago, it did the same thing. It bounced away on a green on MACD and a stochastic phantom green, or a ghost green. Okay? So just a very, very powerful tool. These Merrill Lynch holders, all right? Right there, a nice little signal. All right, those are the Merrill Lynch holders. Anyone can trade ETFs, exchange-traded funds, and holders. They are stocks themselves. An easy way to think about this is a basket of stocks. So let's take a basket of stocks, like just imagine this, like the QQQs, okay? The QQQs is the basket of the NASDAQ 100, basically. So instead of buying all of the NASDAQ 100 stocks, you can buy a share in this basket. This basket has all the stocks in it. So instead of, how do you mirror the performance of these? You can just buy a piece of this basket, all right? Very easy to do. Now, how many of the mutual funds out there, class, beat the Standard & Poor's 500? What percentage of mutual funds out there beat the Standard & Poor's 500? I'll just throw that open to the class, and you tell me, give me a percentage. What percentage of mutual funds can do that? Class, give me some numbers. What do you think? 10, 5, 20, 15? Yeah, about 10. You're about right, 10%. Again, now as a graduate of our course, you can trade a Merrill Lynch holder, or you can trade, for example, the Spiders, an exchange-traded fund that goes ahead and gives you the ability to mirror the Standard & Poor's 500. It would be just like owning one of all 500 shares. Now that said, you can then also write a covered call on that. So let me get this straight. Leaving here today, in our workshop here today, and your education, using just one tool, you can beat mostly, if not all, the mutual funds out there by buying a share in the Spiders. A Spider tracks the Standard & Poor's. So right now, I can get you in the top 10%. Now, write covered calls on those, because you can't write covered calls on mutual funds, and away you go. You've paid for your education just with that one tip. Now, again, where are you going to be in 10 years? Next, build an ETF watch list. Use indicators to time plays for index tracking stocks just as you do for regular stocks. I just did that on the slide previous. And no fundamental analysis necessary. That's not possible because it's literally a basket of stocks. Let's go over a typical day in the life of a Success Magazine investor education student. First of all, we're going to check the trends. We're going to look at the market posture. Also, probably my favorite, see this one does a little wave, there you go. Read the daily market commentary, okay? I'll tell you, part of this business is not a massive or a quantity of information right now. You're getting a quantity right now, but really what it is, it's consistency. It's just consistency. Has anybody ever heard of the idea that you should eat an apple a day? Anyone? You've heard of that. That's made it around town here, right? Eat an apple a day. What you can't do is wait 30 days and eat 30 apples. It just doesn't work the same way, okay? So the key in health, the key in a lot is consistency. So if you desire this, if you will want to learn about this, you will put it in your planner or in your daily mode of operations, whatever you want to call it. You'll say, all right, listen, I'm old enough. It's about time I learned. Let's go ahead and dig into this. I'm going to put it in my schedule. You know, spouse, I'm going to spend a half hour a day on this or 15 minutes a day on this. I'm going to now leave for work instead of at 7:30, I'm going to leave at 7:15. Or you're going to find that time. You have to create that time somewhere. Because if you have a desire, all right, and you do not carve out the time, you've just now been incongruent. You can't find time anywhere. The only thing you can do is become more valuable. And you can do that through consistency through our system. Review your portfolio. Review your portfolio. That kind of goes without explanation, all right? Reviewing your portfolio. Next is evaluate your watch list. Evaluate your calls and evaluate your puts. Whether or not some stocks you're in are ready for calls, some stocks you're in are ready for puts. Next, review appropriate searches. You and I will have our appropriate searches, our favorite searches. I know what mine are. I go to them all the time. I love the stocks on them. A lot of them are in my buy watch list, and every Sunday, my beautiful wife and I, we kind of clean our watch list out a little bit. We say, hey, you know what? Those are not so good anymore. Let's get some new blood in here, okay? Let's get some new stocks that have some news on them. Maybe something new happening, okay? So, do some housekeeping on your watch list. Don't let them fall off forever, all right? Because some of them may come back around, but of the ones that you're looking to make short-term trades on, you may want to kind of clean that up a little bit. I do that on Sunday nights. Wait for the trade to come to you. That's oftentimes people are making forced trades. What will happen, this happens to me sometimes, I'm at fault for this as well. You'll notice that after several trades and several very, very profitable trades, that your capital is literally burning a hole in your pocket. You're like, well, wait a second. This little part-time business I started, I just made an extra $5,000 or $10,000 this month. Oh, that's pretty good part-time income. I want to go buy something. Everything I touch turns to gold, okay? I'm just, and then you'll disconnect yourself from the disciplines that got you there. You'll be like, oh, well, I think everything I touch turns to gold. I'll go ahead and buy it because I like Krispy Kreme donuts, or I like Starbucks, or I like, you'll go to that emotional investor. That's where you get in trouble, okay? Follow the system, you'll be taken care of. And follow the specific rules for that strategy. And that's really what we've been talking about here all day. Follow the specific rules for the strategy. So here's what to do next. Open up an options account. Some of you already have that open. If you have questions on how to open up an account, please email your coach. Call the hotline so we get it done right the first time. If you believe that this is going to be a long-term thing for you, and you really, I'm set, you're getting started now, and you're going to treat this seriously, you may consider to get more of a boutique options firm, one that's very inexpensive on commissions, maybe one that you can do some special things that are catered to option traders. That's available to you. Just call your coach. They know all about that. Your coaches are very, very savvy option traders. They have a wealth of knowledge. I'm going to encourage you to tap into that resource. Next is review the workshop DVDs and notes, one strategy at a time. Set up your personal training sessions. If you do not have the 800 line, give me an email or give your instructor an email. We should have given that to you at your workshop. Call us up, get them scheduled. Next, create your investment plan and objectives. If you're on this slide in your workbook and you're following along with me, when you're creating your investment plan and your objectives, I'm going to encourage you to raise your expectations, all right? Don't think 8% a year or this and that. Raise your expectations. Fast forward. Learn from the books that I've either given you or emailed to you, the Rich Dad, Poor Dads of the world. Learn, teach your kids. The kids aren't learning this anywhere else. I hope you know that, all right? They're learning about, how to, get the next new thing. Materialism is all over. We all know that. Teach your kids how money works, okay? If it's not going to be you, I don't know who it's going to be. Read the market commentary, again, 3 times a week. Key part of your discipline. You want some discipline right now? Read that market commentary 3 times a week. Perfect. Perfect plan. Put it on your calendar. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Perfect. Put it on your calendar. Maybe the next morning you read it. What I do, by the way, you want to get aggressive? You want to take this to the next level? Print it out. Print it out for the first month. How do you go to print it out? There's a little icon on the page that says print this page. It's usually on the bottom left-hand side. All right? Or you can cut and paste it if you want. Print it out. So then 1 month later, when we were talking about XYZ or ABC or whatever it may be, a month later you say, wow, he or Mike or I or whoever wrote it, that we talked about this stock right here on June 4th. Well, July 1st, you then go to review your trading journal and you say, if I would have paid attention to that, that would have been a fairly easy 40% trade. That will then encourage more consistency. You with me? I'm trying to sell this consistency to you. You got to do it. So if you don't, just do this market commentary to begin with, and then realize, whoa, I really enjoyed watching Law and Order this month and that new reality show, whatever it may be, the Bachelor meets who knows what the next one's going to be, right? But if I would have paid a little bit more attention to this, wow, my time would have been very, very well paid. Again, I'm getting you more and more, and you'll find yourself more and more attracted to the consistency nature of this. Paper trade until you, evaluate your current portfolio, paper trade until you feel confident. Now when I said paper trade, again, I mean use our paper trading part of our website, okay? That's really what I would encourage you to do. That said, once a month, kind of reconnoiter, find out, hey, how am I doing? What kind of mistakes am I making? And of course, continue your education. You've done awesome by being here today. You've done awesome. If you're at home, you've done awesome. Looking at these DVDs, you've done a great job. Now that said, I've learned a lot of information. I've spent thousands upon thousands of dollars. If somebody comes up to me and says, hey, listen, I have a newsletter for you or this or that, I'm going to evaluate that. And if they have something to teach me, I'm all about learning new things. I don't know about you folks, but I consider myself a student. In fact, I'm going to ask for a raise of hands. How many of you folks will go ahead and consider yourselves students? Can I see a raise of hands? Let me see your hands. There we go. We're all students. So that said, continuing your education simply makes logical sense. If you're at a certain age, whatever age it is, and you didn't learn this up until now, make a decision between you, your spouse, your business partner, whoever you're in financial, whoever you're working these finances with, that you're going ahead and make a commitment to this. This can take care of you and your family very, very well. Folks, I had a blast here today. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you online. Thank you very much.